Welcome to Top of the Rack with PoohBear. I'm going to be going through my most used devices in Reason. I'll be looking at utilities, the effects, the players, and instruments. And with instruments, I'm going to split between VST and RE. So first of all, utilities. Up at the top we have the CV8X4, producing 8 different signals between 0 and 1 volts. Then comes the Select CV switch, an 8 in 1 out, and when paired with the CV8X4 makes a lovely voltage step up. And we can see all of this on the CVA7 CV analyzer. And when we need to route it, we can use the good old AB switch, which is also my dirty sampling hole. Sweeping across the floor, up and down, in and out, fast and slow, it's the janitor. And the most interesting thing about all these devices, they're all free. Oh yeah, free. I'm going to go through a couple of my number one devices now for utilities. The Arcus. It's just not a CV generator like a normal CV generator with negative and positive volts, but we can do scaling, we can do curves, we can do all kinds of shapes. The next scope I love now is the Compare CV scope. 4 input signals, we can offset them, we can scale them, we can have fun with a bit of CV. My new fancy monitor's the dual CV source, but it's not just a monitor. It's got some lovely latching facilities and it's got some lovely maths outputs. What makes it a little bit special? Well, you watch my up and coming Genitive series. A little bit late to the party is Linode Live, but they've made again a massive impact in my CV world. Just before leaving utilities, I've got to have a little mention of little LFO with its envelopes and its incredibly slow LFO to an incredibly fast LFO way up into that audio range. It has audio as well as CV outputs. The effects. Coming at the top, it's got to be the good old RV7000. With that subtle bit of reverb, it's that go-to reverb. Following up, it's the Echo, with its breakout at the back, makes it a very powerful device. I love my phasers, and there's only one go-to phaser, the Synaptics 90 Vintage phaser. I have a couple of EQs, the Selling Colour EQ, and for me it's that sequential control which just gives it that edge. And for a bit of home mastering, I've always used the REQ 131. Just smooth them frequencies out. The players. No guesses, Delta's at the top for my number one player, followed very closely by the MIDI CV converter. These two together are a powerhouse. And with all my CV floating around, I tend to use that note view to keep an eye on what they are up to and move them about if I need to. A little bit of a surprise, scales and chords. Just seems to pop up here and there and everywhere. Next we've got the polystep. I'm not going to say too much about that. And then we've got our good old friend, the compulsion. The arpeggiator king. I need to mention some real big up and coming ones, mainly sequences, as it really has replaced polystep. And there's a few more which are creeping up my rack in the tonic mint range. So keep an eye on them. Watch out for them in future videos. Instruments. VSTs first. And I just can't get enough of voltage modular. Without a doubt, it has to be those wires. And surprise, surprise, my next VST, modular feed. I think you can see a theme here. And no guesses. Third VST is the ARC 2600. I also like Cherry Audio's version. I do have a powerhouse synth, and that is the Avenger. It's massive. You can layer this thing. It's big and it's fat. Surprising one, and Sound Factory. Sterile environment, but it's a power synth. Especially as you can put synths inside synths. Combinator into a combinator. Big power. Now we come to the rack extensions, instruments. I think this lineup's going to be a bit of a surprise. Lurking here, there and everywhere. We have the Predator. I've used it for leads, I've used it for pads. I've used it for sound effects, little fill-ins. When I need a sound, I just seem to go for that Predator. Second surprise, Kraft. The sound effects you can get out of this little synth is quite amazing. A little bit of secret sauce. Got a better known one here, Respire. Got to have a bit of a powerhouse to run it, but if you do, it's got some great sounds. Another one people don't talk about too much, Parsec. Takes a little bit of getting your head round, get some nice sounds out of it, but when you do, it's worth it. And the final one, okay, I've cheated a bit. I tend to have some kind of piano sound. And I do overlay the IDA 8 on a number of things as well for pianos. So that was my most used devices for this year. Some of them are a big surprise, some of them you may think you might need to go and check out. Anyway, thank you for watching Top of the Racks. Until next time. Bye for now.